How do you work with someone to help them identify, and we'll call them just opportunities for growth, so that they can start working on them?
So it starts from understanding what is really important and what matters to that person, and understanding why it matters to them. So about eliciting the core values in your life, and they will be it might be very different from what they might have thought before, or it might be very different from other people's core values, right? I mean, first idea usually comes, yes, my family is
Mhm.
the most important to me, and then my job, and then finances. But when you start digging a little bit deeper, it might be totally different values that come out, among those values that you
Yeah.
already knew. I had one client recently who actually realized that the value for them, the main value for them, is to have fun and joy in their
Mhm.
lives. So everything they do is, um, they want to have enjoyment, they want to have fun in life. So whether it's relationship or job or interest or hobbies or anything else. And from there, we get an idea of where they are today and where they want to be, and working towards that place where they want to be, keeping those values, keeping those core important things in their lives, and getting understanding what is stopping them specifically in every single step. So it's mostly through questioning, through challenging their thinking, challenging their beliefs, um,
Mhm.
views, opinions.
Have
Uh,
have have you found it a struggle for, especially those who find themselves in a space of being good, the good girl, right? The one who's always following in line or falling in line, of ensuring that everyone is happy around them. And here I am, or saying, okay, I need to find my values, but if I'm this good girl, how do you help them distinguish their values away from, this is the values that's been placed upon me? Does that make sense? This is not values. This is what I want, not because my mom or my dad says that I need to be this. How do you help them distinguish that this is truly authentically what they want from their heart versus what someone is, putting on their conscience, that that's what's the best for them?
yeah, so that comes from the why question. Um, if someone says XYZ is important to me, but then I ask more and more about why it is important to them.
Hmm.
So if there is a rule of, I think it's not even a coaching rule. I think I learned it somewhere in business in corporate environment. Ask seven whys. So
Yeah.
if you keep asking, why is that important to me, and then why is that important to me, and why, so if you get stuck at some point and you don't really know why it is important to you, then you realize that it's probably, you think it is important because someone
Hmm.
told you it's important. It's not coming from your core values. The person itself would feel when it is real for them, when it is their real want and
Not
value.
because of what the world is placing upon them. Because it's very important, because you meet a lot of times people where if they don't go through those, clarifying questions or really provoking type of information. This is why a coach is so important in someone's life, because we see ourselves one way, but then the coach can help hold us accountable to or a mirror to who we truly are, so, or who we're meant to be. And so by asking those questions, you get to that bottom of, this is what I really, really, really want. This is who I really, really want to be. versus I think I need to sway to this side because that's what the world is saying. Hmm.
Exactly. And sometimes it's still difficult. I mean, one step is realization that, oh, this is actually not what I wanted. This is something that, my mom or my partner wanted, but I want something different. This is one step. And the next step is to start believing that you actually can get what you want. Because if someone lived, all their life up until that point of conversation, thinking that, and focusing on something that wasn't probably for them, taking courage and taking the next step to start rebuilding, refocusing their life on what they want. And sometimes it's a big shift, it's a big change in life. Sometimes
Mhm.
not, but most of the time it is. And it's a big shift in thinking, in mentality as well, and attitude to people. So um, it's a huge work that people need to first start believing that they can do it, and they definitely can do that. I've seen it and I experience it on with myself, with my clients, with um, it's doable. It's definitely something that everyone can do, uh, but it's about taking this courage to actually step over
Mhm.
that past and start rebuilding your future, so you don't continue all your life doing something that's been pre-planned for you by
Mhm.
someone else.
How do you help a person who's actually having a struggle when it comes to getting a clarity as to what it is they want? Now, they may have the values, they say I want to do this, but they don't have the clarity as to the steps to take to become who they're destined to be.
uh, this again, it's an ongoing work, right? It's not going to happen overnight. Uh, it might be you know too wishy-washy to believe that, okay, now I know what's going to happen, what I want,
Yeah.
so tomorrow I'm going to start a new life. Because the mentality and our thinking is like a habit. If we were thinking one way again through all our lives, you can't change this habit in
Hmm.
a few hours, right? It's about
Takes a
breaking
while.
down um, the that big goal, which might seem huge. You're breaking down into what's next, right? What's my next step? The big goal can be very overwhelming and maybe stressful, and that's why it's hard to
Hmm.
believe that you can actually achieve it. But if you focus on just that next step that you have light on, and then
Yeah.
next step, and then next step, and you celebrate your success, and you do all these little breakthroughs and unblock whatever stopped you before, this is like step by step. Um, people grow, and people grow into
Yeah.
what they want to be.
And it's really, it's a process. It's not an event, right? It takes a process. It takes
Yes,
time to get to
definitely.
it's not something within 3 weeks, and sometimes it can take years, can it?
Yes, exactly. And the other part of it is the accountability part.
Hmm.
So this is where coaches come in real help, because I think by nature, people are more responsible to other people. They're more accountable to other people. So if we make a promise to someone else, we would make sure we deliver. But
Yeah.
if we make a promise to ourselves, like, oh, okay, in our head, like as a simple example, I'm not gonna drink coffee for 2 weeks, right? But if you haven't committed to someone else, if you just said it to yourself in your head, if you skip that promise, if you don't deliver it, no one is gonna know about it, right? So there is no much stake in the game. So
Mhm.
you kind of, you quietly
Yeah.
promised it to yourself, you quietly broke your promise. So it's really hard to be accountable to yourself. So what coaches help here, how coaches help in here, is that they hold you accountable.
Mhm.
um, they literally hold your hand through the journey. They come up with the process together with you. They help you to unblock all the stoppers, and then do the little breakthroughs, and also hold you accountable for you keep going, like you keep
Mhm.
going, because you know that someone is believing in you, someone is expecting that from you.
Nice. And so it's amazing how, you know, the way you mention it, we can't hold ourselves a lot of times accountable, and by having someone to help support us, something that could have taken 8 months may take 8 weeks, right?
Yes,
And unless you have, unless you're like that self-discipline guru, like you can really super discipline yourself, most people actually need a support system where
yeah,
they're able to get, certain things accomplished. It's not a common, let's say, a super. I mean, if it was that easy, everyone else would do it, right? Everyone would do it, but it's
absolutely.
not. People think that is, well, just get better, or get disciplined, or get it done. It's great to say it, but if it was that easy, most people, right, wouldn't need it. So yes, it's so true. Unless you have that self-discipline, do seek to help, find someone to help you, to hold you accountable to whether it's your dream, your goals, your vision, your purpose, whatever it is, and really digging deep to help you get to the next stage. Now,
Absolutely, yes.
if you find yourself working with someone and they're stuck, they're no matter what it is that you're sharing with them, like anything that you can, like you help them to get unstuck, like any like magical way of saying, okay, I noticed that the protocols that I've put in place for that person is not working. What have you seen that, when you're connecting with that person and make it where they're able to finally to see the light? Okay, then I can actually do this. I can take action upon my vision or my purpose. I can get out the good girl mentality and move forth and not be paralyzed and what someone else is going to think about me, because that can be so paralyzing to a lot of people. How do you help them to move and shift from that stuckness when they've tried everything else?
Yes, this is again usually down to a, a major block that is stopping them.
Mhm.
So it's understanding, again, breaking down into the details why they're stuck, what is stopping
Mhm.
them. Um, there might be even at first glance non-related issues, non-related blocks,
Mhm.
but it might be stopping them from progressing in their career, for example. There might be a block in relationship that they have, but it might stop them, in their career. So it's finding that major block and understanding why it's there, why the belief is there, and whether the belief is true or not. Like 99.9%, the belief is absolutely unnecessary, and is not serving them, and they actually can let go of this belief. Through a session, they can let go of this belief, um, and then
Mhm.
getting you they get used to it over time, that the awareness of that being just their belief, which is not true,
Mhm.
is what helps them to move forward.
Beautiful.